Hi all, good morning. So guys, today we are starting our AWS master program, and this program includes three major certifications: the AWS Solution Architect and AWS Security Specialist, and the last is AWS Advanced Networking. So today's a day one. So I have a trainer with me who is going to deliver this entire master program. So sir, over to you. Now you can start with the introduction and the agenda what we decided to deliver today.
Hey, sure. Good morning, everyone. And today I'm going to talk about why certifications are needed in AWS and while you're doing it, what is the importance of it and so on. The session will be around 30, 35, 40 minutes max. Intent will be to tell you that why certifications are really important. And while we're talking about it, I'll just share a few things to you and I'll be, taking you further. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat section. And likewise, I said, happy to help you if you have any questions. Okay, just give me a minute. I'll start sharing my screen. Thanks. Hey, hi everyone. I hope you're able to see my screen now. Yeah. So all in the end, before we begin with the certification part or we talk about it, you always would be talking about why certification is needed, why do I do it, how many certifications are there, and so on. Firstly, I'll just say I'm all 13 certified, and honestly, that matters a lot. Why it matters, I don't have to go and tell people that these are the skills. People reach out to me instead. All 30 needed? Not necessarily. So, what would be needed, what not would be needed? You have to decide based on your role, what you are looking out for, right? So, what am I trying to tell? I'm trying to tell you is you have to go for AWS exam guide, AWS exam guide. You will have to go and look for this. And then you will have to click here. And then you'll have to go and see what exactly we're talking about in each certificate. So for example, if I'm preparing for AWS Solutions Architect Associate, right? So basically, you need to find out something like this. Okay. So you will go and find out what is there in this particular exam. Yep. And then you can open it and you can go through it that what they're expecting out of you. Okay. So they will be mentioning what all they're expecting out of you. You can just go and see the exam guide over here and you can go and see it is of 23 pages, section by section, everything will be given. And we are going to cover this slowly and later. But all in the end, I'm trying to tell you is every exam will have its own guide. Every exam will have that, hey, we are aligning towards this particular role. If you're a developer, you will go for developer associate. If you want to become a solutions architect, you will go for solutions architect associate and solutions architect professional. Is it compulsory? Not needed. You can go for either of one of them. Then we're going to teach you security just to ensure that you understand how to secure your AWS services and so on. Yeah. And apart from that, we are going to teach you networking, concepts of networking. So basically, you'll understand how this black box, how this cloud runs, what it is all about, and so on. Yeah. Today, I'm just going to talk about in very light way that how is AWS able to, scale, how it is able to serve, how it is able to, why it is booming, why the word cloud everyone is talking about. Yeah. In fact, I'll just say when you see on your phone, you're planning to order from Swiggy, Zomato, or you're watching Netflix, you're using Amazon Web Services somewhere down the line. Cool. 9 out of 10 banks in India are on cloud. Nasdaq, the biggest particular, I would say, server for, stock server in United States is on AWS. How do I remember all these things? How would I be able to understand these things? Yes, we are here to help you out. Don't worry for that. And before that, just want to tell you, there are some foundations you need to know that what is this AWS about? What is this cloud computing all about? What are the benefits of it? Yep. That's what I'm going to discuss in the next 20 minutes odd. And then, I'll tell you what this exam guide is about and what should be covered for you when you're preparing for exams like this. Okay, fine. So without further ado, let's get started. I said importance of exams. Yeah, why it is needed. I told you why certifications are still needed. 80% of the world is still on premises and not on AWS. More and more customers are going to move towards the cloud, and that's the reason knowledge of cloud is needed. Certifications are going to add value to your profile, and it will help the recruiter to narrow down your profile. Yeah, and this will help you convert your jobs and switch at earliest. Cool. So without further ado, what is AWS all about and how AWS is able to do it? We're going to see that. So firstly, the website is AWS Infrastructure. You can go and see this particular link. I'm just waiting for it to load. Just give me a second. Trying it out once more. Else the website was infrastructure.aws. Yeah. So how AWS is able to do that for last 17 years? It is one of the biggest cloud service providers out there. It is the only one which is number one since 17 years now, as per the Gartner report, which you can go and see how so many websites or so many brands are running it on AWS, because we have divided the world into something which is called as regions. Then we have availability zones. We're going to talk about it slowly. We are going to show you this particular map. Yeah. In India, you have something which is something we call it as regions, and these regions are available in Mumbai and Hyderabad. I'm going to talk about it as well. You can go and see this. There is not needed for you to remember any numbers out there, so don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay, so what did I say? How AWS is able to perform or able to serve so many customers is because we have divided the world into something which is called as region. We'll talk about it. Every region will have something which is called as availability zones. We'll talk about it soon. Yeah, but this is how we are able to serve so many customers across the world. So I want you to go and see this particular link, and this will help you understand that how we are able to serve from smallest startup to the biggest customer out there in the world. Cool. So far, so good. Any questions you have? Anything? Anyone? Yeah. Good enough to get started. Cool. Okay. Now, what I'll do is I'll first start with why we are talking about cloud, why people are moving to cloud, and why people are heading towards that particular world. Yep. Okay. So let's go there. We'll talk about introducing to Amazon Web Services. Okay. Likewise, I said, we are one of the cloud providers out there since last 17 years, 16 years plus, the only one leading number one. But what is this cloud computing all about? It's gone are those days where you are like, hey, I have an idea. I want to launch an application. To launch an application, you need a server. For that server, used to buy a physical server and then used to deploy an application on it. This used to happen in old days. What does that mean? If the idea is viral, that server will be needed bigger, 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 bigger. And if the idea doesn't work, what if that Instagram reel doesn't go viral? And what if you don't get those customers? That big server won't be needed. So what is happening? You're ordering a physical server and you are ordering a physical server and it is not being used. So your management is going to ask you. Yep. So people were not willing to take a risk earlier days. Now what we want to say, you can access on demand. Think about it just like your Ola Uber. You don't own a car. You buy a car? No. You rent a car. You press a button, the car is down there. You use it, you pay for it. Similarly, you're going to access compute, database, network, all of the whatever you need it takes to host your application. It will be on demand. You're not going to pay a full price for it. Okay, you don't have to pay full $1,000 in advance, $10,000 in advance. Not really needed. No capital investment needed. You're going to pay only for the resources you're going to consume. You're going to consume only what you want to provision. So you will provision only what you're going to consume. Except that, you don't have to worry about it. How much I'm supposed to pay per second, per minute, and so on. And that is what we are trying to tell you here. Just like electricity switch meter, yeah. In earlier days, electricity meters were not there. There was a dynamo machine which used to generate electricity for the factories. To have a factory, you have to have that setup. But now what it is there? Just turn it on, turn it off, and you're sorted. Right? So that is what the benefit of cloud computing is. Okay, fine. So what is happening because of that? Because of that, you're getting some benefits. What are the benefits like? Benefits is you're going to pay only for what you're going to consume. Benefits of massive economies of scale. What does that mean? If you have 10,000s of customers, every customer bringing 10,000s of workload, which means you will have millions and millions of customer workloads running on AWS, because of which what we can do, we can negotiate with our vendors and we can give you benefits out of it. And that is benefits of massive economy of scale. Stop guessing the capacity. We generally send invites to people for the event. We say RSVP, RSVP, and so on. Are you coming or not? If I'm calling you for lunch tomorrow, hey, lunch at my place. So I'll send, are you coming? Are you not coming? Why am I doing that? I'm doing that to understand how many people are saying yes, so that I know how much biryani to make. But does Amazon, Flipkart do that? Do they ask you what's on your mind like Facebook? No. What they do? They just publish ads everywhere that, hey, sale is coming, buy now, and so on. They never ask, are you going to buy today? So what are we saying? We do not ask you whether you're going to come and use our website or not. Whenever you come, and whatever numbers you come, our servers would be able to serve you. Increased speed and agility. Your application earlier used to take 4 to 6 weeks for your servers to be commissioned, but now it happens within a matter of minutes, seconds. So if you have an idea, you can deploy it. You can deploy it, you can go live faster. So what do we want to say? We want to say that you can go live in a matter of minutes or seconds. If you're not using it, you're not going to pay for it. And that's how you are going to have the cost savings. Go global in a matter of minutes, which I said. Have an idea in India, US, wherever you have. Just go and deploy. You're done there. Sounds good? Yeah? Okay, cool. Now, moving further. Likewise, I said, in AWS, we have something which is called as infrastructure. I was showing you that we have an infrastructure which is going to help you understand that we have divided the world into something which is called as regions. Yeah. In that, select India as a country, then we have 2 regions, which I said. What did I say? One is Mumbai, second one is Hyderabad. Yeah. So what did I say? We have divided the world into something which is called as regions. In that region, in India, we have 2 of them, Mumbai and Hyderabad. Do I need to know anything apart from it? Not really. How many regions are there in the exam? Is anyone going to ask in the interview? Not really. Is anyone going to question you on that? Not really. So what you need to know? You need to know is, where are your customers? Are your customers in India? Then where you will host it? You will host it in Mumbai or Hyderabad, right? You will put it in Mumbai and Hyderabad. That's all. So far, so good, everyone. So far, so good. Yeah. So basically, all in the end, I just want to say, out of 33 regions or XX regions, we need to know if a customer is in India. Only these 2 regions will be used. That's all. Fine. Yeah. Now, every region will have 3 availability zones. What it is all about, we'll cover it soon. Don't worry. What is edge location? Don't worry. We'll talk about it. But remember, in any cloud, be any cloud provider you're going for, if it is AWS, then understand that the basic components are CDNS, that is compute, sorry, I took a pause there. Basically, you have something which is called as compute, database, network, storage, and security is primary part for every one of them. Yeah. So compute, database, network, and storage. Cool. Write this out, and it's going to help you out whenever you're studying. You have to understand out of these 200 services, if I know that what are the basic services of them, that is a foundation of cloud. And after that, you can keep on deep diving on the services based on your customer requirement. As an SA or as a solutions architect, are we expected to remember all 200 services? Not really. We just know few of them. And then whenever customer is asking, we know the few of services, that is compute, database, network, storage. And when anyone is asking questions based on the customer requirement, we'll dive deep and we'll start getting in deeper. Okay, so that is how we are. We are in T-shaped always. Know the basics of everything of the basic domains and then go deep wherever it is needed. This is what is needed when you are even preparing for interviews and so on. Yep, cool. Okay, keep this handy. So now I'm not going to talk about all these things in depth, else we won't be able to take care of it going further. Fine. Yeah, cool. Yep. Okay. Now, moving further, talking about the infrastructure, what did I say? Divided the world into something which is called as regions. Yeah. Americas, APAC, APJC, China, and so on. In India, we have two of them, one in Mumbai, one in Hyderabad. That's all you need to know. And this is not coming soon. This is already being launched. So take care of that. Okay. Now, what did I say? How are you going to select? You would be like, out of 33 plus regions, which particular region I'll select? You'll select based on these 4 factors. I'll take the very first factor, which will be latency. When you launch Netflix, you will see loading, buffering. Would you like to see that? Not really. Why does that matter? It matters because latency is like your website should open in sub-milliseconds. Goodbye to those days. Goodbye to those days where you are like, hey, your website is buffering. Customers will run away. Customers will go away. So if your website is in USA, and if your customers are in India, then the website will be relatively slow. What I mean to say is, if you're going to Amazon.com, it will say, hey, we are available in India. Do you want to go to India Marketplace, which is Amazon.in? Why do they do that? So as to ensure that the latency is less. Rather than coming from USA to India, if it is coming from India to Indian customer, it will be faster, better. UI, UX experience will be great. That is latency. Second is pricing. So in pricing, what you will do, you'll be like, hey, wherever it is cheaper for dev and stage, this is for production environment. Developers don't need to know how much amount of latency is. It's okay if I save some cost. So what do I mean? The price of 1 BHK in Mumbai, 1 BHK in New York, 1 BHK in Singapore is not same. Similarly, prices of
ये हमारे
AWS
लेकॉम का
services
लैंप जरा
will
सही
not be
कर दो ना
same
यार
everywhere,
निकल
right? So what will happen at that particular point is your prices in every region are not same. So you will run your dev, you will run your stage environments somewhere far wherever it is cheaper. But for your production environment, you will run it, for your production environment, you will run it somewhere which is closer to your customer. Write it down. That's how from 33, you will come down to 3 regions, and you will ultimately come down to, hey, this is the region of my choice. This is my main region. And the second region is my backup region, DR, disaster recovery region. That's how you do the pricing part. Service availability. Not all services are available in all regions. So before you deploy, just go and check, right? So that your efforts are not being wasted. That's all I'll talk about in service availability, that not all regions have same services. So please check it out prior to deploy. Lastly, data compliance. Government of India regulates that all financial transactions should be within India itself. It should not go outside India. Which means if you would have thought about, let's go to Singapore and deploy it, you cannot deploy it. You have to deploy only in India. So local laws, rules, read that about it. Have some good knowledge about it. And that's all it takes to become an essay. And you have to consider this non-tech parameters too before you do some technical evaluation of services and so on. I hope so you understood out of so many regions which one to choose. These are the 4 factors. You need to write it down somewhere down the line. Yep. I hope you're making notes and it will help you out further. Thanks. Now, what did I say? Every region, for example, assume this is Mumbai or this is Hyderabad. Every region will have 3 or more availability zones. Every AZ will have 1 or more data centers out there. Every data center will have its own individual power, which means if one goes down, another one will be up and running. So why are we showing this to you, that there is availability 1, 2, 3, and so on? We are showing this to you because, for example, you want to buy an iPhone 17 Pro, which is coming soon on Amazon.in. If Amazon.in says, hey, today's a lunch break right now, the servers are down, go and buy it somewhere later, or come and try sometime later. So what do you say? Hey, you're not going to serve it to me? I'll go to Zepto, I'll go to Swiggy, I'll go to Flipkart, I'll go to somewhere else. What does this mean? If this is not available, people will go to somewhere option. So what will happen? Loss of business, say around 1.5 lakhs plus to Amazon. Will Amazon like to do that? No. So what we will do? We will have 1 main server and 1 backup server, which means what? When you were trying to buy from Amazon.in, if the main one was not responding, the secondary one will respond, which means you are never going to see an error on our website that, hey, we have too much capacity right now and the website is not loading. Which means if you want to buy an iPhone, you will come to our website, you will find it at the cheapest rate, and you will be buying it from us, whether it is from the main server or whether it is from backup server, whether it is from availability zone, whether it is from AZ1 or whether it is from AZ2. Get that straight. So basically, you're hosting your website. Hey, requesting everyone to go on mute, please. So basically, you're hosting your website here, and you're going to host a website here. What did I say? If AZ1 is down because of certain reasons, yet people will be able to access your website from here. And that is what we call it as high availability. And that's the reason we have availability zones, AZs, in 1 single region, so that you keep 2 copies of website running. So far, so good. Anyone have any questions? Feel free to ask me. Happy to help you there. Any other questions, please?
Guys, any question?
Cool. No worries. If you have any, feel free to stop me. Feel free to, let me know. Next 10 minutes, I'll talk about a few more things, and then I'll just show you what more I have in store. And these are the basics you need to know when you're proceeding towards the cloud. Now, when I said Netflix, if it is hosted in USA, assume this is USA and assume that you are in India, what did I say? Latency will come into picture. The movie which has to load in India, it will take certain amount of time to load. So what we do, we copy the Netflix movie, whatever India is going to watch. For example, top 10 movies in India, the banner, what you see at the top, all those movies are stored somewhere nearby. So whenever Indians are asking, hey, show me the same movie, I want to watch the same movie. So it is served from where? It is served from the nearest edge location. So think about edge locations as your post offices. If you want to go to government for filling some forms, government will say, go to the nearest post office. Based on your post office, you will fill the forms and you'll get your work done. Similarly, rather than these end users going to USA to get the movie and come back, what you're doing is you're keeping a copy of it in India, and from there, people are watching it. This means your content on the website, it gets loads faster, your user experience is great, and because of which people are able to load your website really, really fast. Okay, fine. With that, we'll just talk about a few more things before we conclude. Okay, I'll just say few good concepts you need to remember. What is regions? What is availability zones? And lastly, what is edge location? And this is what is called as infrastructure of AWS. I did summarize. You have something which is called as compute, database, network, storage. These are the basic services of the cloud, and you need to keep that handy. Not 200 plus services are needed, plus security will be there in common. When to use what? I have told that. 2 or more availability zones, you will be hosting it so as to ensure high availability, that your website is always up and running. Edge locations are for faster loading of your files on the website. Go to Amazon.prime or Amazon.in, go and see how much amount of content gets loaded within milliseconds. How fast it is loaded, it is because of edge locations which are being used. In regions, I showed you 4 factors which you need to remember, and that's how it's going to help you out. Okay. Now, just moving further, quick or 5 or 10 minutes, don't worry about it. Whenever you have to log into AWS, you can log in via the management console. There are developers who are like, hey, I don't like to see the screen. I don't want to do it once, twice. I want to automate it. I want some SDKs for my programming language. At that time, it will come here. And CLI will be coming in picture when system admins are there. Well, like, I love the black screen. I just want to write there and let things happen on its own. I want to automate things. So that will be when you're using something which is called a CLI. Now, moving further, security is like yours and AWS. It's a shared responsibility. I want you to go and read this in depth before you prepare for your cloud certs or you are diving deep into the world of AWS. What it is all about? It is all about very simple thing I want to tell you. For example, this is a 30-floor tower which is constructed by Lodha. In that 30-floor tower, if I am buying this particular flat, which is 3001, okay? Now, if you bought a flat by Lodha, you paid the possession, you did everything, keys are given to you. You are doing 25 lakh worth furniture, and one fine day, you're going outside your home to your office, and you keep the doors open. Some bad people come and do some bad things to your home. Who is responsible for it? Is Lodha responsible for it, for creating 30-floor tower? Is Lodha responsible for it because it provided security and it does have CCTV camera and still something happened? Or you have MyGate and still something bad happened? Or is it you who kept the doors and windows open and let the bad actors come? That is what I'm trying to tell you, everyone, that all in the end, I want to say compute, database, network, storage is everything provided by AWS, but whatever you build on top of it, right? You give everyone test 1 to 3 test, admin as username password, then this is something at your end that you are doing security best practices. You're not aligned to it. You're keeping the doors and windows open, ports and protocols open for bad actors to come and hit you badly. That is your responsibility. So go and read about it, what is shared responsibility all about. But here I said, instead of Loda, think about it is AWS which is providing you compute database network storage. And whatever you build on top of it, it is your responsibility. Ensure that you give access to whom, when, where. Ensure that you do periodic updates. Ensure that you're in better shape. And this is a win-win responsibility of both of us. So likewise, I said, as part of shared responsibility, it is part of both of us. Go and read that white paper if needed. Yeah. And this is the image which I wanted to show that to you, which I was drawing on the screen, that AWS will provide you compute, database, network, storage. At the very same time, it has regions, availability zones, edge locations, which we covered. All of this is provided by AWS. AWS will take care of it. But whenever you're building an application, you have to protect customer data. You have to encrypt credit card details. Last 4 digits only should be visible only to certain people. The ports and protocols should be only open to certain people. Not everyone should have administrator access. Yeah. Encryption has to be done at client and server side. You need to know there has to be network traffic protection and so on. Not everyone can log into your admin portal. Yeah. I'm selling it to customers in India. Then if you're not selling in Russia, so you can block and you can protect your website from the bad actors coming in from there. So these are the things which I talked about. I have already covered it. You can go and read this particular white paper. And likewise, I said, the whole infrastructure is provided by us. So we'll take care of it. Lastly, what did I say? You have to ensure that who has access to when, where, why. So basically, we call it as W5H, who, when, where, how, why. So basically, in AWS, you will not make everyone as admin. This will be a person who will be able to see certain services. There will be a person who can create services. There will be a person who can only read services. There will be someone who can update services. And there will be someone who can delete those resources. So IAM would be about who has access to when, where, why, how. No sharing of username passwords, no common username. You should create individual IAM users. So this is what I was trying to say, that if you have resources, not everyone has access to your database. Not everyone can see what is the salary of my CTO and so on. So you would define who has access to what all, where all they can access in AWS. And that's precisely needed. Okay, fine. So far, so good. Any questions? Anyone?
No, sir, no question.
Okay, cool. Just give me one more second. Okay, cool. Now, what did I say? This is only one of the services which is free to use. You can create your users across all the regions. It is integrated with all AWS services. You can have MFA, which means two-factor authentication for all the users, so that whenever your username password is compromised, even with MFA, you can secure account. You can share your access with others, right? So you can create cross accounts, but you're not going to share your username password. Remember that. Identity federation, login via Gmail, login via this, login via that. All of those things can be done using identity federation. Okay, these are the features of IAM. Yep. And lastly, there is something concept which is called as root user, which is called as God user. So whenever you're creating a default account in AWS, it is a powerful God user, which means that it can do anything and everything. This is not needed to perform every day-to-day task. It is only needed in special conditions. So you will not use root user every day. Instead, you will create IAM users, and that is which I told you earlier. Think about it like a bank. In a bank, there is someone which is called as branch manager. There is someone who is called as loan officer. There is someone who is a clerk. Clerk cannot give all exams and become a manager in one night. But what if this clerk is able to get access because of certain misconfiguration, wear the hat of manager and do some bad activities? Yep. So it will be issue. And that's the reason I say, go and read about what is principle of least privilege. A cashier would be able to just carry. A cashier would be able to just do what? They should be able to just count the notes here. Okay. Cashier should be able to just count the notes. That's it. Getting it? Yep. A branch manager would be able to access everything. A loan officer would be able to only disperse whether a loan has to be given to you or not. That's all. That is principle of least privilege. Not everyone will have admin access. Never share a username password. Don't use login every time, and limit the task you perform with a root user. Okay, fine. So what you will do, you will use something which is called as IAM user every time. You will not use root user. You will create IAM users. Multi-factor authentication, you will put your account name, you will put your username, you'll put your password. After that, we'll give you the OTP. Once you fill that OTP, only then you can log in to your AWS account. Fine. So IAM users, I did say, it will be a person, it will be an application who is trying to access your AWS services. You have 200 plus AWS services out there. So who will access to what will be defined. Don't worry about it, to be covered later. With today's intro sessions, let's not get there. You will have MFA which is enabled so that you can protect your account even if it is compromised. Okay, fine. Now, with this, what I'll do is I'll start proceeding towards a closure for the day today, because we'll go further very deep there. Yep. It's almost 41. So all in the end, I just want to say, whatever I was trying to talk about is for cloud practitioner and for solutions architect associate. But whatever you will learn, it will help you in solutions architect professional. If you learn a bit of security along with this session, you will be able to cover this particular course or this particular exam as well, which is security specialty. Yep. So intent is you learn once plus something more, you'll be able to clear this. You learn more, and if you're able to understand well about security, you will be able to do this. And if you dive deep a little more, then you'll be able to cover AWS networking specialty as well. It will need some more amount of study here because this is one of the most toughest exam out there, followed by this particular one. The most valued would be associate, professional, and security specialty. Cool. Everyone is talking about Gen AI these days. At that time, you will get into AI practitioner. All these exams, which will be developer associate, sys associate, and solutions architect associate, they are a trio. If you give this, then you will be able to give the rest too also with little bit amount of study. Likewise, I said, we have 13 plus certs. You can pick and choose based on your path, based on your interest, based on your learning, or based on whatever you're looking out for. Yep. Any questions so far? Anyone? I'm almost done for the day. If you have any questions, I'll leave the room open to you. Over to you, folks.
Hello, Shashank. I have one question.
Yeah.
Like how much time we need for like sessions or in hours, if you can tell.
Harmeet, what's the question?
Like how much time we need, how many months or how much time for.
So see, we in this master program, we have a 3 courses. Each course is going to take a 2 months.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So as you mentioned that, can you show that certification template once? Yes. So as you mentioned that the path is like architect and where it is on, I think. Yeah. So AWS architect and that solution architect and professional and security. So as you say that networking is the toughest one. So what is the combination that solution architect and networking and security, or how this correlate, means security plus security first and networking second, or networking?
It's a combination of all three plus more to read. So like that, you will have to take a download of this. And then while we are going to, cover those modules, we'll talk about those things in depth. Yeah.
And what is the means job market for means higher than either is for networking side AWS cloud network engineer or a security engineer, means we just want to know the job market of this cloud, AWS cloud.
I would say associate. I would say solutions architect will be the highest one. Specialty ones would be less, but it will be, more in demand. Security is everyone's, every application which goes live on cloud has to be secure. So that is again something which is like more in demand, just like solutions architect associate ones or professional ones. Yeah. So I'll just rate it as solutions architect followed by security, followed by then specialty roles. Specialty means the more narrow you go, the more in depth you go, and the more you're needed, and hence more the pay.
So networking, as you mentioned, that it's means less in demand in
I didn't mention that. I just sequenced that well for you. That's it.
So that's enough to move in cloud, or we need to do some additional?
That's more than enough.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Rahul. Hello.
Hey, hi.
Hey, hi, Chad here. I just want to check, will this AWS course be structured based on the exam syllabus, or do you have a different plan for how the course will start and progress?
We'll be sticking to the exam guide, which is available publicly out there. At the very same time, if there is anything where we can add few more things based on our industry experience, we'll share that as well to you.
So you are going to stick on one particular exam certificate, right?
It's fluid, I said. So we'll begin with associate, solutions architect associate. We'll move towards professional, and then we'll move towards networking and security, covering best of everything from there. Yeah, but sticking to the exam guides, sticking to something which is like part of a job description too.
All right. So it will take around 6 months, is it? Because just said 2 months, 2 months for its certification, the exam. So is it total 6 months? Is it?
Yeah, tentatively that would be the runtime, Sarah.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Hello, I'll be covering this media services also, AWS media services.
If you're looking for elemental and all, as of now, I'll park that particular thing, right? I'll have to check and get back to you on that. But if that's a special need of yours, you can mention it to our team and they will get back to you on that.
Yeah, because I'm in a media line domain right now, so OTT domains.
Sure, you can drop us a mail. They would be able to help you out. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
So thanks, guys. Thanks for joining in today's session. We are closing a session for today. And from next weekend, we'll continue the classes. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Rahul.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, bye.